Hey Reddit, I'm Adam, 29, and 6 months ago, I found out my girlfriend, the woman I thought I'd marry, was cheating on me. But instead of confronting her, I did something different. I spent months carefully planning my exit, making sure she'd never see it coming. And when the day finally arrived, I walked away without a word, leaving nothing behind but a single note. What happened next? Well, let's just say she wasn't prepared for the fallout. You always think you'll know how you'll react when you find out someone's cheating on you. Rage, heartbreak, screaming, throwing things. That's how it happens in the movies. But when I found out my girlfriend, Emma, was having an affair, I didn't do any of that. I just went numb. It started with a gut feeling. You know the one, the tiny nagging voice in the back of your head that tells you something isn't right. Emma had been acting off for weeks. Late nights at work, extra careful with her phone, smiling at texts, but never saying who they were from. I wasn't the jealous type, so I ignored it, until I couldn't anymore. One night, while she was asleep, I did something I'd never done in our 3 years together. I checked her phone. And just like that, my whole world shattered. There they were. Hundreds of messages between Emma and someone named Zach. Flirty texts. Late night, I miss you messages. Plans to meet up when I was out of town. And then, the worst one. Emma, wish I could just wake up next to you every morning instead of sneaking around. I stared at the screen, my heartbeat thudding in my ears. I should have woken her up, demanded answers, screamed, "How could you do this to me?" But I didn't. Instead, I put her phone back on the nightstand, rolled onto my side, and stared at the ceiling. Because at that moment, I realized something. Emma wasn't the woman I thought she was. And if she could lie to me so easily, she didn't deserve a dramatic breakup. She deserved to lose everything. So I started planning. For the next few months, I played the role of the clueless boyfriend perfectly. I still kissed her goodbye in the mornings, brought her coffee when she worked late, even planned a weekend getaway, just to keep up the act. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I was dismantling our life together. First, I slowly moved my money out of our joint account. Next, I found a new apartment, one she knew nothing about. Then, I started packing little by little, taking things to a storage unit. A book here, a jacket there. Nothing noticeable. And the entire time, I kept watching. I read every message she sent Zach. I knew when she met up with him. I knew when she lied about working late. I even knew when she brought him into our apartment while I was at the gym. And each time, I felt less pain and more satisfaction. Because the longer I waited, the harder the fall was going to be. And then, finally, the day came. It was a Friday morning, and Emma had left for work like usual, kissing me goodbye without a second thought. She had no idea that by the time she came home, I'd be gone. I waited exactly 20 minutes after she left, then called the moving company. Within 2 hours, every single thing that belonged to me, clothes, furniture, my laptop, even my damn coffee maker, was packed up and out the door. By noon, the apartment was nearly empty, aside from the things Emma had bought herself. And then, for the finishing touch, I wrote the note. It was short, simple. Emma, I know. I've known for months. Hope he was worth it. Adam. I placed it right on the kitchen counter where I knew she'd see it the second she walked in. And then, I walked out, without a single word. I turned off my phone for the next 12 hours. When I finally turned it back on, my inbox exploded. 45 missed calls. Dozens of texts. Emma had gone ballistic. Emma. Adam, what the hell? Emma, where are you? Emma, I don't understand. Please talk to me. Emma, how long have you known? Emma, Adam, please. I'm so sorry. Let's talk. Emma, you can't just leave me like this. I laughed. Oh, Emma, I absolutely could. That night, I got a text from our mutual friend, James. James, dude. Emma showed up at my place sobbing. What the hell happened? I replied with a single message. Me, ask her. The next morning, he called. Man, I have never seen someone so wrecked, James said. She's freaking out. So she had no idea you knew. Good, I said simply. James hesitated. She wants to see you. Talk things out. I let out a short laugh. Not happening. Yeah, figured. He paused. So what now? Now, I said, stretching out on my new couch in my new apartment. Now I move on. And for the first time in months, I really, truly felt free. But this isn't where the story ends. Because karma had one last twist waiting for Emma. And trust me, it was perfect. For the first time in years, I woke up feeling light. No weight on my chest. No pit in my stomach. Just the satisfaction of knowing I had done what so many people only dream of. Walking away from a cheating partner without a single fight, without a single tear, and leaving her to deal with the wreckage alone. But this wasn't just about moving on. This was about making sure Emma felt the loss. And trust me, she did. I stayed completely silent for the first week. Ignored every text. Sent every call to voicemail. I didn't block her. I wanted her to keep reaching out to stew in her own guilt. Meanwhile, I started reconnecting with old friends, going out more, and enjoying the simple pleasure of not having to constantly wonder where my girlfriend was or who she was texting. And just when I thought things were settling down, the first crack appeared in Emma's carefully crafted world. James called me late one night. Dude, you're not going to believe this. I put him on speaker as I poured myself a drink. What's up? Zach broke up with Emma. I nearly choked on my whiskey. Wait, already? Yep. He let out a low whistle. Apparently, he didn't sign up for the emotional breakdown package. Said she's been acting crazy since you left, calling him nonstop, showing up at his work, crying about how she lost everything. I leaned back in my chair, smiling. That's interesting. Oh, it gets better. I raised an eyebrow. Ow. She told him she loved him. Like full-on I think we should be together kind of thing. I let out a low laugh. And he straight up told her she was just a hookup, that he never wanted anything serious. I took a sip of my drink, savoring the moment. So she blew up her entire life for a guy who didn't even want her. James laughed. Pretty much. Now, I could have left it at that. I could have walked away, fully satisfied that Emma's actions had come back to bite her. But something in me, the part that remembered every lie, every sneaky late-night text, every time she had looked me in the eyes and pretended to love me, wanted to twist the knife just a little deeper. Not in an obvious, vengeful way. No, I wanted her to feel the regret in a slow, painful way. I wanted her to see the life she could have had with me and realize she had thrown it all away. So, I started posting. Nothing crazy. No dramatic captions or cryptic quotes. Just subtle things. Pictures of me out with friends, enjoying new experiences, laughing, thriving. I knew Emma would see them, and I knew it would drive her insane. It didn't take long. One night, after posting a photo at a bar with a few friends, including an attractive woman I had just met, I got another call from James. She texted me. He said, barely containing his laughter. Dude, she's spiraling. What did she say? I asked, plain dumb. She asked if you were seeing someone. Said you moved on too fast, and that it's messed up how happy you look. I grinned. So it's okay for her to move on while we were still together, but not for me to actually be happy after the breakup? Exactly, James chuckled. She also said she misses talking to you. Bingo. There it was. I leaned back, feeling the satisfaction settle deep in my chest. She wants me to respond. Obviously, I considered it. Just a simple reply. Something vague. Just enough to keep her guessing. But then, I changed my mind. Nope, I said, smirking. Let her sit with it. James let out a low whistle. Cold, man. No, James, I said, finishing my drink. She was cold. I'm just done playing the fool. Days passed. Then weeks. And then, one evening, I got a text I wasn't expecting. Emma, can we talk? I stared at the message for a long time. She hadn't reached out in over a month. Not since her little Zach situation had blown up in her face. And now she wanted to talk. Nah, she didn't want to talk. She wanted closure. She wanted me to tell her she wasn't a terrible person. She wanted forgiveness. And I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction. So I left her on read. But karma? Karma wasn't done with her yet. Because a few weeks later, the real fallout began. I was out at a friend's birthday party when James, who had officially become my personal reporter on all things Emma, pulled me aside. You're gonna love this, he said, barely able to keep a straight face. Oh, I raised an eyebrow. She lost her job. I blinked. Wait, what? James nodded, grinning. Apparently, she started slacking at work after everything went down. Called in sick too many times, missed deadlines, and boom, fired. I let out a low whistle. Damn. Oh, and guess what else? I smirked. There's more. She had to move out. Couldn't afford the rent alone. So now she's crashing at her mom's place. I nearly choked on my drink. Emma had always loved looking down on people who couldn't get their lives together. She prided herself on being independent, constantly bragged about her amazing career and apartment. And now she was jobless, single, and living in her childhood bedroom. I won't lie to you, Reddit. Hearing that news, it felt damn good. Not because I wanted her to suffer, but because she did this to herself. She made her choices. She thought she could sneak around behind my back, lie to me, and still come out on top. But the universe had other plans, and watching karma do its work, that was all the closure I needed. A few nights later, as I sat in my new apartment, sipping a drink and enjoying the peace of my own space, my phone buzzed again. Emma, I just want to say I'm sorry for everything. I never meant to hurt you. I stared at the message, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. For a split second, I considered replying. Then I locked my phone, set it face down on the table, and took another sip of my drink. Because the truth was, I didn't need her apology. I had already won. I didn't expect Emma to give up so easily. After our phone call, the one where I shut her down completely, I thought that would be the last time I heard from her. I made it clear. There was no coming back for what she did. No second chances. No do-overs. But Emma, she wasn't the kind of person who handled rejection well. And she definitely wasn't going to let me go without a fight. The first sign that she wasn't done came 2 days later. I was at the gym mid-set when my phone buzzed on the bench next to me. I ignored it at first, assuming it was James or one of the guys. But when I finished my reps and glanced at the screen, my stomach dropped. Emma, I just need to see you one last time. I sighed, shaking my head. I'd blocked her number after our last conversation, but I had a feeling she'd find a way around that. Sure enough, she had texted from a different number. I put the phone down and ignored it. 15 minutes later, another text. Emma, please, Adam, just talk to me. One last time. Then another. Emma, you owe me that much. That one made me laugh. Or, I didn't owe her a damn thing. For the next few days, the texts kept coming. Some were desperate. Others were angry. Then came the voicemails. At first, I didn't listen. I let them pile up, one after another. But after a week, curiosity got the best of me. I sat in my apartment, scrolling through the endless list of messages before finally pressing play. The first one started calm. Adam, I just need to talk. Please. I know I messed up, but we were together for years. Doesn't that mean anything to you? I rolled my eyes and skipped to the next. Okay, so you're ignoring me. Fine, but I deserve a conversation. I deserve a chance to explain. Deserve? She had some nerve. I skipped a few more. That's when things started getting unhinged. You think you're better than me? You think you're just going to move on and be happy while I suffer? That's not fair, Adam. I made a mistake, but I didn't deserve this. I let out a low whistle. She was unraveling. The next voicemail was quieter. I see you posting pictures, Adam. You look happy. Too happy. Almost like you're trying to rub it in my face. That one sent a chill down my spine. She was watching me. I blocked the new number. But deep down, I knew this wasn't over. Emma had lost everything. Her backup plan, Zach, her job, her apartment, and now, the one person who had been there for her through it all. And when people hit rock bottom, they get desperate. I was right. One night, as I was coming home from work, I spotted a familiar car parked across the street from my building. Emma's car. She was sitting in the driver's seat, staring straight ahead, gripping the wheel so tightly her knuckles turned white. I stood there for a second, debating my next move. I could go confront her, tell her to leave, make it clear once and for all that I wanted nothing to do with her. Or I could do nothing. I could walk inside, go about my night, and let her sit there and stew in the reality of what she'd done. So that's exactly what I did. I walked past her car without looking, entered my building, and locked the door behind me. For the next 2 hours, I kept an eye on my security camera. She didn't move, just sat there, waiting. By midnight, she was gone. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. A week later, I got a call from James. You're not going to believe this, he said, barely able to contain his laughter. What now? I asked, already exhausted by whatever nonsense was coming. Emma showed up at my place. I nearly dropped my phone. What? James snickered. Yeah, man. She knocked on my door, all dramatic like she was in some soap opera. Said she needed someone to talk to because she didn't have anyone left. I pinched the bridge of my nose. You didn't let her in, did you? Hell no, James said. I told her to get lost. But before she left, she said something weird. I tensed. Weird how? She asked if you were seeing someone. I sighed. She already texted me about that. No, dude. She wasn't just asking. She was, I don't know, obsessing. Said she saw the picture of you with that girl from the bar. My stomach clenched. She was watching me, James. James went quiet. Yeah, man. I think she still is. I tightened the security on all my accounts. Made everything private. But it didn't stop. A few days later, I got an Instagram notification. A random account had tried to follow me. No profile picture. No posts. Just a blank page with a username that looked like it was generated by a bot. I didn't think much of it until another one popped up. Then another. Then another. And when I checked the followers of my friends, I saw the same accounts trying to follow them. Emma was making fake profiles. She was still watching me. I knew I had to end this. Not just ignore it. Not just wait for her to move on. I had to make sure she knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that I was done. So, I did something drastic. I sent her one final message. Emma, I know you're watching. I know you're still trying to keep tabs on my life. It's over. It has been for a long time. You made your choices. You threw everything away. And now, you have to live with that. So stop. Stop calling. Stop texting. Stop stalking my friends. Because if you don't, I will get the police involved. This is your only warning. I hit send, and then I blocked her on everything. For the first time in months, there was silence. No more texts. No more voicemails. No more fake accounts trying to peek into my life. Emma had finally gotten the message. Or at least, I hoped she had. A month passed. Then two. And just like that, Emma became a ghost. No one heard from her. No one knew what she was up to. And honestly, I didn't care. I had my peace. I had my life back. And the best part? She had to live every single day knowing that she had lost the best thing that ever happened to her. Not because I told her, not because I rubbed it in her face, but because she knew it deep down in a way that would haunt her forever. And that was all the revenge I needed.